All right, so as you can see, I filled in this box, this first one. So the leading coefficient is always going to be the number in front of the variable with the highest exponent, okay? So for the first one, it has to be, there is no leading coefficient because I don't have any degree. There's no variable there, so it's 0, it's constant. For the second one, I have 5x plus 4, which would be linear. I know that x is to the first power here because I don't actually see a number there. So then therefore, the number that is my leading coefficient has to be 5 because that's what's in front of my x. For the next one, I have negative x squared. So the 2 is my highest degree because 11x, that's to the first power, and negative 5, that's to the 0 power. So I know my degree here is going to be 2, and that my coefficient of negative x squared is negative 1. And I just follow the same logic down. 3 is going to be the highest exponent here, so that's my degree. 4 is the leading coefficient of x cubed. 4 is the highest degree, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 9 is what's attached to the x to the fourth. And then finally, I have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So that means this is negative 2x to the fifth. That's my leading term, where 5 is the degree and negative 2 is the leading coefficient. So now it says, graph each function below in a viewing window on your calculator. So looking at this, and it says, graph each function below. And it's asking me to figure out how many U-turns it has. So I'm going to go to Desmos. So I have the first one graphed, x squared plus x minus 2. And I see that it has one U-turn. So I'm going to go back to my worksheet and put 1. Then I'm looking at the next one. I need to go over here and hit the minus button so I can actually see the whole function. All right, that's a good picture of it. And I see it has 2. It goes up in this little loop-de, and then, it goes down, I should say, in this loop-de, and then it goes up here in this one. So that one has 2. So the second one has 2 U-turns. Now I'm looking at the third one. And I see, again, 2 U-turns. Maybe I want to go in this time, hit the plus sign so I can see them a little better. They kind of look like 2 parabolas, right? This one is down, and then this one goes up and then down. So that one also has 2. So let's look at the fourth one. The fourth one, I just see this purple line, so that's not helpful. So since I just see this purple line, I know I need to hit this minus so that it zooms out. All right, now I see something a little bit better. All right, so I'm counting 1, 2, 3 U-turns. 1, 2, 3 U-turns. So that one has 3 U-turns. So now I'm going to look at the last one, which is the one that says x to the fifth. So I actually see 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to go back to my worksheet. So it's asking me to, okay. So again, I'm just going to fill in what I said. So the first one, I saw 1 U-turn. The second one, I saw 2 U-turns. The third one, I saw 2 U-turns. This fourth one, I saw 3. And the last one, I saw 4. So then it's also asking me for the degree. Remember, the degree is the highest number on the exponent. So here, my degree is 2, x squared. That's the biggest. Then next, I have x cubed. That's the biggest. And again, I have another cube. That is the biggest. Then here I see x to the fourth is the biggest. And then finally for the last one, I see x to the fifth is the biggest. So now it's asking me to like look for a pattern. So as I'm looking at these, I see here I have 2 and 1. Here I have 5 and 4. And I notice between 2 and 1, that's just a one number difference. Between 5 and 4, that's a one number difference. And then I'm like, oh, they're actually all a one number difference. So far I'm thinking that the U-turn, so let's keep going and see if I'm right. So then it's asking me, okay, well, how about you graph these three functions? So I'm going to do that real quick. And now I'm graphing x cubed. Okay, so before when I had x cubed, I think I always saw 2 U-turns. But now I'm like, all right, let's keep zooming in. So I know I see some kind of like little humpy looking thing, but now I'm looking and I remember that it said on the nearpod notes that a U-turn is really where it changes from either increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing. But if I follow up with my cursor, I'm increasing, 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 increasing. And over here, I start to plateau, which just means like I'm kind of just staying the same for a little while. I'm not decreasing or increasing. But if I start to go up with my cursor, I'm increasing, 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 still technically increasing, just slower rate, increasing, 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 increasing. So I don't see any place that I started to decrease here. So I'm like, So I have 0 U-turns. I don't have any U-turns for that. So I'm not sure if my conjecture before was correct. And get rid of the red graph. And I'm seeing a weird kind of looking parabola. It looks pretty much like a parabola, except it has this weird, like it's not as U-y as we're used to. It has like more of a straight line right in this portion. So I'm like, okay, I only see 1 U-turn. I only see it go, if I'm following my cursor down, it's decreasing, 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 decreasing up until this point. And then it starts to increase. So for this one, I only have 1 U-turn. And then finally, the last one is x to the 4th power. Okay, and again, I see something that looks like a parabola, but just a little bit fatter. And if I follow it down, decreasing, decreasing, and then increasing, increasing. So again, I have 1 U-turn. So I need to go back and fix my previous thoughts. Number of U-turns in the graph, 0. 1, 1. And the degree on x cubed is obviously 3. X to the 4th minus 3x plus 1. It is also 4. I don't know why I said also. It is 4. I think I was looking at the next one. This one is also 4. X to the 4th power. So now I'm like, okay, well, before I said it was 1 less than the degree. And I'm looking at it, and 3 is still bigger than 0. 4 is still bigger than 1. So the degree is still bigger than the number of U-turns. The number of U-turns. So now it tells me to summarize right here. The maximum number of U-turns, and I think that's the key word here. The maximum number of U-turns a polynomial can have is 1 . So that's very important. It's the maximum, the maximum. So we weren't initially wrong in saying that it's 1 less than the degree, but it doesn't always have to be 1 less. It can be 2 less, 3 less, as you see with these right here. It does not have to be 1 less, okay? But it will be less. But the maximum number of U-turns is 1 less than the degree. So if I have a quartic function, the highest number of U-turns I can have, and remember, quartic means 4. So I can't have 4 humps. The maximum number of humps I can have is 3, like that. 1, 2, 3. And that concludes this worksheet. If you want to see the worksheet without the video, because I know that a bunch of it erased, I will post that as well.